In this video, we are going to look at objects, which are a little more complex but completely foundational and super useful. JavaScript comes with a lot of simple data types built in. We have seen numbers, strings, and booleans. If we want to represent things that are more complex, that's where objects come in. An object is like a container that holds information and tools. Inside these containers are things called properties like variables and methods like functions that are grouped together because they are related to the same item or concept. The simplest way to make an object is with an object literal. Similar to the string literals we saw before, just type a curly brace and another one that closes it. That's an object. Now, to be able to inspect what we have done, we need to actually assign this to a variable. So let's say empty object equals an empty object. Now, if I look at the value of this empty object, I can see that JavaScript knows it's an object, but it has nothing in it. I'm going to assign another variable. We will call this not an empty object. When I say it's like a filling system, it has labels. Now here in Node, I can just hit return and Node adds the three dots here, knowing that I am continuing to write the same thing without executing it. The label that I am assigning is a to string. We'll put the name of the key, which I will use label in this case, then a colon, and then the value. Value can be our number. This value can be a string or booleans, even other objects, anything. Now that I have done that, I will add my closing curly braces. I can hit return and now I'm done. Let's check that value of not an empty object. There it is. I have my label and my value. To add more folders to your box, you can do the same thing. Now I have another object example. This is an object of a person which has some properties like name, age, and some methods. So you can access the object properties and methods using dot notations. The object name, person, and then dot, and then the properties name. Similarly, you can use access the methods as well by writing the object's name and then method name. It will looks like I need to switch back to my screen. This will in console, it looks like this one. Going back to my previous screen, this one. An object property can itself be an object. For example, try changing the name person to something like this. And I can add first and then Control X and then To access these items, you just need to chain the extra step onto the end with another dot. Something like this. Person dot name and then dot first. It will show you the first name, and then the same here you can access the last name as well. If you do this, you will also need to go through your method and you need to change it to like name dot first and then name dot last. Sometimes we can use bracket notations provide an alternative way to access object properties instead of using dot notations like this. Person and then age. Similarly, we can access another one, person, name, and because we have the second step, then we need to call this one as well first. So it will call the first name from name object inside the person object. Dot notation is generally preferred over bracket notation because it's more brief and easier to read. However, there are some cases where you have to use square brackets. For example, if an object name is held in a variable, then you can't use dot notation to access the value, but you can access the value using bracket notation. Now, you may have noticed something slightly strange in our method. Look at this one, for example. So this dot name first. You're probably wondering what this is. This keyword refers to the current object, which is in case this one is person. So why not just write a person instead? Well, when you only have to create a single object literal, it's not so useful. But if you create more than one this enables you to use the same method definition for every object you create. Something like this. So here I have two objects, person 1 and person 2. So in this case, I can use this keyword to refer as my object's name.